सावन आवन कह गयो सावन आवन कह गयो कर गयो कौले आने हो गिनता गिनता घिस गई मारी अंगलियां जीवे हो गिनता गिनता घिस गई मारी अंगलियां जीवे पधारो मारो देश केसरिया बालम ओ केसरिया बालमा मोरे पधारो मारो देश पधारो मारो देश.
Hello beautiful people, how are you doing? This was a song of desire which has captivated in all our hearts to see someone, to long for someone. Like the way you look at the clouds and wish for monsoons to come down on the parched earth, the way you yearn to see your beloved. This song captivates all desires together. And today, one of my dreams have come true, because today is a very special episode of Chatterley, because I have two very bright musicians from Kolkata with me, who, when they go on stage and play their music, there's only one word that occurs to you when you're a part of the audience. You are mesmerized, you are transfixed, you are transported to a world of poetry and imageries. May I welcome Shomojit and Shorindra on the show. I'm so happy that both of you are here. And Shomo, when you were singing this song, what does this mean for a lay audience? What is it about?
Basically,
there was a lot of
yes.
yearning and longing in this song. So
Yes,
is it there?
Yeah, like basically it's a folk tale of Rajasthan.
Okay.
And I'm so proud to express that folklore of our country, of this entire South Asia, speaks so much, so beyond life.
Right.
And this is a song where you can just feel that a lady who's been waiting for her beloved is urging that Kesariya Balam, my beautiful sweetheart, please come to me, because ginta ginta ghis gayi mari angliya veg. Like savan avan, the clouds have come and I have been counting for days.
See, I didn't know the lyrics, but I kind of said it right. But tell me something, when you yearn for someone, when you really long for someone, how do you, I mean, is there someone very special in your life that you yearn to see so much?
Maybe there's somebody.
Okay.
Mostly, the thing is, in our form of music, there are certain basic stages when you just express words. But when there are like features like Rag Sangeet or classical forms of music influencing your kind of music,
Right.
it's like poetry, it's no more literature. It goes beyond that.
It goes beyond that.
Absolutely.
Well, that doesn't close the doors to a small peek into your personal life. But tell me something. Shorindra Mollik as a pianist and Shomojit Das as a vocalist have formed this beautiful collaboration called You and I. And you've been on a spree of presenting wonderful concerts all across the globe. But how did it all begin? I mean, was this appreciation and was this mesmerization there in the beginning as well?
No, you know that it was not. You know that. I leave it to him.
Mostly it was our college days that we were performing different forms of music for different festivals.
So you were performing in college as well?
Right, we
Both
were in
of
the
you
same
together?
college.
Yeah,
Right, we
it's
were in the
Xavier's
same
college.
college.
It's Xavier's, okay.
and then we started performing. And there were situations when mostly people used to tell us that why don't you explore classical forms of music as you have got training in those fields. And what we tried to experiment was we had that belief in our hearts that if we play classical music, there are people who love it. And if you can really express those classical forms which were there in the 16th century or even before that, you must have some people, and mostly a section of the crowd, who would really appreciate it. But strangely, we have been to such circumstances when there were audience of the age group between 17 and 25, and they all loved it. It's a matter of a performer's belief.
You know, I quite agree with him, because I will come back to this. I remember I was in Delhi and at a concert where a Bharatanatyam dancer called Geeta Chandran, she was performing, and she actually sang a couple of lines of Haveli Sangeet.
Okay.
And there was an 18-year-old, very hip, wonderful looking girl in the audience who actually asked her after the concert, madam, is there a CD available for the same? So you see, there is a lull for music.
Absolutely.
In
But you have to cater it in
yeah,
that way.
but tell me
But
something.
right
When you started in college, as you said, you wanted to explore classical forms. Were the women deprived? Did they find it boring, or did they find it interesting? What happened in college?
Mostly what happens when you start performing, there are many people who adore you.
Okay.
Men, women, both. And what happens, you have to have a filter in your life.
Right.
Like, since you're a performer, you have to go through stages when there are many things, different forms of life interacting with you. But you have to have a filter. And beyond that has to be your motivation, your music.
When did you meet him?
Mostly, we had a very
our
strange
last birthday.
situation. we had our
Yeah, there's a
audition.
strange bond between both of you. Like
We feel
it's
it.
like, you know, when you guys actually are on stage, I feel there's this excellent camaraderie which probably the best of the romantic pairs cannot portray when they're on screen.
Shuja, I should
Especially-
tell you something special. But if you go on narrating a Wordsworth classic in front of me,
Right.
and if I play a Mozart classic, then what happens? He comes in with a tumri. The gelling of these classical masterpieces forms a great nuptial atmosphere, which
Absolutely.
mingles all performers together.
I know.
It makes this world as a one place.
You know, I agree with him, because that's not fusion, that's oneness.
Absolutely.
Which happens
Absolutely, there are no barriers
And
in
it's not
between.
hurting individualities. Like,
Right.
we are not hurting the composition of Mozart by unnecessarily fusing a thumri.
Lovely. So when you met him in college, sorry, you also met him in college. So how did it strike? What happened? Was he so appreciative about music
No,
in
he
college?
was not.
He wasn't?
He was he wasn't.
This
A
handsome young
pianist
man?
has to be a snob.
A pianist has to be a snob?